All right, great morning, everybody. How are you this morning? My name's Michael Reeves, Elite Seller, and your Success Starts Now workshop trainer. Okay, I'm excited to be here this morning. Just adjusting the video just a little bit. All right, so hopefully you guys have had a phenomenal January. And I just want to say, let's grab this thing, bring it a little closer, because I've got some couple of things I want to show y'all this morning. All right, there we go. So again, great morning to you. My name's Michael Reeves, Elite Seller, and I am excited to be here this morning. I hope that you have had a great January. And let me just start off our Success Starts Now video by saying congratulations to all of you who have worked your business, who've taken time to invest in your business, and thank you so much for all the testimonials. I still can't get this right. I'll get it right in a minute. Too equipped to be whipped, too anointed to be disappointed, too blessed to be stressed. So I hope that you guys are the same way. And if you're not, then you can get that way. Okay, so anyway, January, what a phenomenal month. But, I want to say congratulations to those who've had a great January. To all our free-for-all product earners, thank you so much for all that you do. And thanks for keeping the comments coming. Thank you for the words of testimonials that I've received over these past few days. I know we haven't had a video in just a little bit, and I was waiting to see how long it would take for somebody to start asking. But I wanted to wait for a spring launch to come and go, because sometimes it's very hard not to want to share with everybody. And love the new product. We're not talking about the new product today. We are going to talk about our show systems, and we're going to be working on show atmosphere today and product knowledge. Okay, so I just want to let you know we've had people who have been doing the 2-in-1. That's a 2-in-1 dinner's done concept of you're cooking dinner anyway, invite a couple of people over, sharing one recipe idea. I've had one consultant that had over $600 in sales doing that. She was so excited to hear that idea. Had somebody else open up their home for the first time to host a show and had over $1,000 show and several bookings. We've had people to earn free-for-all product that they've never earned free-for-all product before. And they took a couple of these ideas that we shared and went and earned a level of free product free-for-all. So let me just say, if you're not excited, get excited. How enthusiastic are you? And remember, our theme this year, just like at our church, is the year of now. And what we do now, we reap the benefits of later. And guess what? What we don't do now, we're going to reap the consequences of that too, right? So we might as well go ahead and make a move and get started and get things rolling. And I hope and pray that everybody that watches and invests time into these trainings, that you get some kind of tidbit, something kind of aha moment, some kind of idea that you can go and take and run with, and your teams can run with, and you can make a difference in your business, and you can see a difference in your business. Because that's what we really are here for. We are on a mission to help people get dinner on the table in 30 minutes or less. And we have awesome power tools to help families do that, to empower people to do that. So I just want to say also that your testimonies encourage me. What a fabulous month I had. I've had a lot of things going on, and I want you to have a great February. I want to keep this momentum going. I do want to give a shout out to the Reeves, my personal Reeves team, and I thank them so much for all that they do and work in their business. But let's make sure that this month is a new month. Let's make sure that we're just not busy, but that we're productive, and that we're productive with our time, we're productive in what we're doing, and not just being busy. Being busy, the acronym for being busy, busy stands for being, understate, and joke. Woo, that was some good preaching. So I don't want you to be so busy and so caught up in just doing all this stuff that you're not getting anything done. You're just getting tired and wore out. So this morning we're going to focus on continuing to create a show atmosphere that is fun, that's educational. One of the questions that I get all the time, how do you keep doing what you're doing month and month after month after month? And I have said in a previous video that the secret to Pampered Chef is to have consistency. That is the secret. So I love being consistent. And we have to make a decision. Remember, we talked about owning our decision to work our business now. And that is what we will see. We will see good things come from that. And we can look back on 2018 and go, woo, look at all that I've accomplished. Look at what I've won, right? We just took that word down and turned it into two other words, own and won. So I hope you got your now and later candies. If you don't have your now and later candies, I don't know what you're waiting for. They got them at the Dollar Tree. So go out to the Dollar Tree and get some now and later candy so you can look at that and be reminded that what you do now, you reap the benefits of later. And the time is now. Let's get out and let's have a great, productive February. So we kind of left off with a show opening. There has been a show posted, by the way, on the web, on the Facebook page here. If you haven't had an opportunity to go and watch any of those, to watch that show, go in there and do that and watch some segments. I've got the hosts talking about their experience of washing the dishes. I know that is a show system I put into place over 10 years ago that's been very effective. Half the battle of cooking is cleaning, so people can get training when they are learning how easy the dishes clean up. They're also being trained on how to take things apart and that kind of thing. So don't think that you're doing them a disservice by allowing them to do that. You're actually doing a great service to them so that they can get acclimated with the product. So I love that. I had somebody recently too just commented that they did that and it worked great, and they were so excited that they weren't having to ride home with garlic Febreze in the car because the dishes were already cleaned up when they got ready to leave the show. So some of these tips are going to seem kind of simple, kind of maybe out of the box. I will tell you, I am an out of the box person. I think that sometimes we trap ourselves in the same old, same old. Sometimes we just need another perspective. So I hope that you get that when you watch these training videos and you invest the time in that you do get a different perspective. You get some great ideas, and that overall it is beneficial to you, that you can take something and you can go out and sow some seeds and make a difference. We have lots of people who are struggling, and they're struggling because they don't have a system in place, or they keep changing things up and changing things up and changing things up. So I'm just going to say one of the things that every top seller has in common in the company is the consistency. There are two things at your show that you need to make sure that you're doing. Well, actually, there's more than two things, but two things that I want to focus on right this second is that you are showing enough product and that you're showing power tools. So when you look at numbers from Katie and Karen Smith and all these different top sellers that you see month after month and top 100 trip incentive earners, that's what they're doing. They're being consistent in showing power tools, and they're being consistent in showing enough product. So you don't want to just, I'm not telling you to take everything in your house, so don't go out and say Michael Reeves said you got to be a pack mule, because that's not what I'm saying. But are you taking power tools that make a difference? People will buy down. So I'm just kind of like, building a little foundation here for you, because one of the things that you need to work on in your show structure is what does my presentation look like? Okay? And that presentation needs to be power tools. People will always have the opportunity to buy down. So for an example, let's just use this as an example. I would not suggest for you to take the deep covered baker to the show. The deep covered baker is a great product. The top of the top and the most versatile is the rock crock. It can do everything that the deep covered baker ever thought about doing, and then some. So the point being is, if we take and show a rock crock at a show and someone's budget, doesn't meet that, then we have another tier, a product that's a little less expensive, a little less of an investment right now, that would still help them get dinner on the table quickly. It won't be as versatile as the rock crock, but it is still an awesome and phenomenal product. So I want to encourage you that when you think about what tools to take, that you are not looking at it as, well, let me take a micro cooker. No, a rock crock. A rice cooker plus is the top of the top in all of the microwave line nylon products, like the micro cookers, rice cooker plus, shallow cooker. Okay, so you would take the rice cooker plus. Okay, the same thing with our cutlery. You wouldn't take a color-coded knife. You would take the forged cutlery that's lifetime guarantee. That's the best of the best, because you can always scale back to the color-coded knife. Great? Sure it is. Does it have a lifetime warranty? No. Is it going to last as long? No. Is it going to perform the same as the lifetime forged cutlery? No. But if you have no cutlery at all that's worth even having in your kitchen, because everybody should know, if you don't, a dull knife is a dangerous knife, then of course the color-coded knives would be a great alternative if the budget isn't there, for the lifetime forged, okay? So those are just principles to build on how to pack for your show. How do I make my show a great success, okay? So I want you to go ahead and jot it down, write it down somewhere, that I'm going to invest and take the best of the best products we have to offer, because people can always buy down. They will always buy down. Now, very rarely, so let me just use this on the flip side. Let me use this as an example. If you take the micro cooker and you are utilizing the micro cooker at your show, are you going to sell rice cookers? No. So vice versa. People very rarely buy up, but they will scale down. You're giving them choices. That's the great thing about Pampered Chef. We have all of these different choices, and we really do seriously have products that will accommodate every single budget, okay? Because sometimes people just look at the high-end items and go, woo, Pampered Chef, can't afford it, too expensive. Well, let me remind everybody, you do get what you pay for. How many times are you going to buy that skillet at Walmart? You're going to buy it over and over and over and over. At the Pampered Chef, you're going to buy that skillet one time. Well, shut the gate and paint the barn green, because overall they are going to save money. But at the same time, if someone can't invest in the 1782 Dutch oven slow cooker set, then they could get the deep covered baker and utilize that product. So make sure that you always look at, what am I packing? Another thing that I've been brought up in Pampered Chef with was, we don't touch anything that's under a certain price. Well, I want to encourage you about taking things that will accommodate other tools, or complement is the word I should be using. For example, the chef's tongs to accommodate. I want to accommodate somebody today, but to complement the pans, not scratching the pans. The grill press and scraper tool that's on the endangered species list, by the way. Those things all add up, okay? So I'm not going to do it this morning because I don't have access to it and I forgot to get it, but next time we get together, I'll show you an example of a sales receipt that I get at my show, because I will show things that go with, just like the 1689, the dual-ended cleaning brush. That is a great tool to clean the salad chopper. That is a great tool to clean the blades of the manual food processor. You've got a toothbrush, using layman's terms, and the floss at the other end. So yes, you can clean around your oven, clean around your stove surfaces, your sinks. But what happens to some of these things, if we don't utilize that, then they're going to be discontinued. So I also want to encourage folks that are watching that if you love a product and there is a need, because that's the definition of sales, by the way, is find a need and fill it, okay? You're not trying to sell people stuff just to sell them something, just to make a sale. You want to offer them things that help utilize, their products and make their life easier. Well, you can get aggravated real quick trying to clean the salad chopper with a dish rag, okay? So make sure you have that brush. We've had kitchen brushes in the past that I absolutely love and have at the show. Had the brown scraper on the back side of the older white brush that we no longer carry. Now, I'm not trying to live in the past or go backwards. I'm moving forward. But all I'm trying to do is to make this point that if you don't have those things to use with something that complement these products, then they're going to be discontinued. Because Pampered Chef only discontinues products for there's 3 reasons. One, there's some kind of manufacturing defect, and Pampered Chef's top of the line, and they are not going to put anything out here that's not going to last, that's got some kind of problem in manufacturing. So that's number 1. Number 2, no sales. If there are no sales, low sales, the warehouse has enough to last for the next 30 years, then that product is going to be, discontinued. All right. So you really just have either an issue with manufacturing, a flaw, products, the materials aren't available to manufacture that product, low sales, no sales. They're not going to, continue to keep that. So what I have found is that some people don't take the time, and I know I've been here for almost 16 years, and there are some of you that's only been here maybe 16 days watching this video, but we need to take the time to learn about the products, and we want to make sure that we know how to use them. For instance, the microwave chip maker, which is on the discontinued list, and we're going to talk about this in just a minute because this is a great opportunity as we are in this transitional month of February. Microwave chip maker, a lot of people don't know how to use it. They don't know to use one tray at a time. They don't know to cool to crisp for the chips to be crispy and not continuously hitting 30 seconds on the microwave. Let me add 30 seconds. Let me add 30 seconds. And then, the chips are burned up. And they go to the devil when they burned up. So, if you don't know those things, then you can't really utilize a product. So, the product ends up in the cupboard cave. Okay? And the cupboard cave is that never-ending cupboard of things that were one time used, not used anymore, and I don't know how to use it, it's broken. And so people are not interested in coming back to your show if they can't utilize the last thing that they just bought. So I love item number 1241, the microwave chip maker. I use it all the time. Make tortilla chips, make cinnamon chips. I can make 16 chips in 1 minute and 45 seconds. Now, am I like going, Pampered Chef, you're taking this away, No, I've built the bridge and I'm going to get over that. But I am going to show that product this month. And so I'm going to take advantage of this opportunity to show the discontinued product, okay? My point is, there's 2 points with that. One, we want to make sure we know how to use something, okay? So those that have that in the cupboard cave right now, you used it one time, it wouldn't work. Well, did you use the simple slicer? What kind of chips were you making? Were you making sweet potato chips? Were you making regular potato chips? Were you making tortilla chips? Were you using flour? Were you using corn? All of that makes a difference. Spraying the chips with the garlic oil and then putting a little salt and then putting your seasoning or rub makes all the difference in the world in how they cook. My thing is, as a director and a leader and a trainer in our company, we need to make sure that we share the knowledge, because there's going to be somebody that's going to say to me at some point after watching this, well, where is that information? Where is that information? Well, the home office does an absolute wonderful job in our test kitchens and putting as much information as they can out there. But let me just say this to everybody. Using the product and the experience of using the product, that's where the knowledge comes from. I know I can't use the rock crock on high if I'm going to melt chocolate, okay, on the stovetop. All of those things are going to come from us doing things just like this video training, and talking about product knowledge and using the product. So I've got this question I'm going to ask you. Are you pamperized? Are you pamperized yourself? You know, somebody asked me, I've been making cakes in the fluted pan. I'm going to be making one at the next show. Devil's Food Cake Mix, chocolate cake. You know, that pan accelerates the cooking. If you look on a box cake mix, there are different types of pans, different shapes of pans that will tell you, oh, this is going to take 33 to 38 minutes in a regular butt pan. Well, do you know the Pampered Chef on 350 degrees? That pan is cooking these Devil's Food Cakes in about 20 to 25 minutes, depending on the person's oven, if it's convection, if it's gas. So that pan accelerates the cooking. So if you're a consultant out here and you use the box and cake mix, and you use the timing on the back of the box, your cake just went to Jesus. Your cake just actually went to the devil, because it burned up if you cooked it for 38 minutes in that pan, because that pan accelerates the cooking. Our cookware accelerates the cooking. So it takes less time to do it, is what I'm trying to say. So if you don't know that about item number 1603, then you're like, I don't know how long to cook cake. Well, you can always add time. So whatever your cake is, cook them at 20 minutes and start checking, okay? $17.94 is the cake tester. Boom, make sure you have that. Do you see how you need to have that? You're showing a cake pan, but you're not showing a cake tester. And then before you know it, the cake tester will be like, I'm out of here. I'm out of here. You know, quick release tool on the opposite end, cake tester on the other end. It's a phenomenal tool. Why don't you have it? Okay, just saying. And don't beat yourself up. Michael Reeves not trying to beat you down. Michael Reeves trying to empower you to get out and get what you need to have a successful show. Because who wants a cake pan and they can't check the cake? A toothpick is not going to work unless you have a bamboo skewer. Okay. All right, so y'all get what I'm trying to say. I don't want to beat a dead horse to death. I want to move on. But I'm just you know, using that as an example. How are you going to know about the cake pan if you don't have one, you don't use it? Okay? And that is, all that bakeware is lightweight. My arm and been numb now for almost a year. Different times I can use it, different times I can't. And so I really do have an awesome respect for our lightweight stuff. You know, that's another benefit and feature to those pans. If you've got arthritis, carpal tunnel, weak arms, numbs arm, your arm is numb, can't lift, then this pan, you actually can lift it because it's very lightweight, even with the cake in it. So just saying, and I'm not making light of anybody's situation, but are you saying those types of things about some of these products that we have to offer? Okay? Not just, oh, you got to have this pan. Look at the pretty blue color. It's great. This pan is great, Marie. It's great. You got to have one, Marie. You got to have one. Well, tell me why I need to have one. Okay? So, accelerates the cooking. Lightweight. Oh, my gosh. You're going to love how it cooks. And I'm cooking the cake at the show to show people. So, one of the stories about that pan, I'll go ahead and share that real quick, is using the nylon mixing masher to mix up the cake mix. Oh, I've never thought about that. Well, 2685 is not only going to mash potatoes, it's not only the sister to the mixing chop. There's some verbiage, because y'all want verbiage, so I'm giving you verbiage. You know, we don't separate the families, right? I mean, I know Marie's got to like that one, okay? We don't separate the family, so you got to have the sister to the mixing chop, which is the nylon mixing masher. But the thing is a great sauce whisk. Talk about not scratching your bowls. Talking about something that's all one piece. And, you know, sometimes silicone whisks. Silicone starts ripping off after a little while, after a few years of use. Not with nylon mixing masher, because it's all one piece. They're also heat resistant. They're great in the gravy pot. That's why people like, most of the time, burn gravy, because they don't remember to stir it. If you leave that in the pot, it looks back at you like, stir me, stir me. So I'm mixing up this cake at the show in my stainless steel mixing bowl, of course. And this customer says, well, why don't you just use a KitchenAid mixer? Now, I'm not talking about anybody's brand, and I'm not bashing KitchenAid, but let me ask y'all this question. Do we have that in the catalog? Whoop, whoop. Absolutely not. Can't help if I get a little bit excited. I do get enthusiastic about the product. But that was the answer to that question at the show, during the show, when she said, why don't you use a KitchenAid mixer? I just said, we don't sell them. Do you see one in the catalog? So the point to that story, that was pretty fun. I mean, can I get like some smiles or something? Okay, thank you. Because the point being is, some people may not even think about that. They might not even think about using a product to mix that up with, or to cross-sell that kind of an item. So we don't take another product to a show. We don't want to take our KitchenAid mixer and mix up the cake, because we don't sell them. Okay? They're not in our catalog. So let's move right along. Let's talk about discontinued, because we've got a lot of people, and this is part of your show, and I want you to have a phenomenal February. Because let me tell you what having a phenomenal February sets you up for. A phenomenal March and April, okay? And some people, you know, we talked about time management a little bit. Make sure that you are looking at your calendar. What am I doing the next 90 days? What's going on in my life in the next 90 days? When is my store going to be open in the next 90 days? Okay? So this month will help you build that March and April. Okay? And then if you work this month, you're working in March and April, guess when you're working? In the summer months, when school's getting out. Now, some people, and they're getting really excited about spring product. We just had spring launch, right? They're getting excited. I kind of want to hold off. Don't you dare do that. Don't get so excited about the new season that you forget we need to finish February. And we need to finish February strong. And February and August are always two of my largest months in the entire year, because not only is it a transitional month, but because of the discontinued list, okay? Because this makes, and this is the question that I've been asked, do I need to show any of these things or bring this up at my show? And what if you especially these next 2 weeks, because some of this stuff's going to start selling out, okay? And then that's when it gets kind of like, ugh. So don't put yourself in that predicament. I hope you front-loaded your month. And we're not talking about how to book today on this video, but always front-loading the month. You can fix your month at the end. If you work towards the end of the month every month and you have cancellations, postponements, it's hard to fix the month then, isn't it? That's just some food for thought. But the same thing with these discontinued products. These discontinued products can boost your sales, and they can be a last chance type of thing for people to get them, okay? So yes, the answer to the question is yes. Make sure to go ahead and talk about these products. So I want to talk about some of these products and talk about some of the product knowledge behind some of these. And this video will be a little bit longer than most of our videos, so that's okay. Y'all can rewind, hit play. I understand you can't stay on here the whole time. Just thank you for joining and tuning in and sharing later. I understand all that. All right, so we just talked about microwave chip maker. Now, the Rock Crock sweaters, they are phenomenal to keep the food warm, for transport, and even for storage. You know, there's two of them. There's one for the Rock Crock Dutch oven. There's another one for the small Rock Crock, which is called the casserole, that I always refer to as the baby. But these really are good for transporting a Rock Crock. Also, for storage of your Rock Crock, to keep the lid secure, okay? One thing about our lid is if it's inverted, it kind of like just slides all around, and if someone's storing that up on a shelf or high up and they bringing it down, that lid can go woo, and then you fall down on the floor and break, okay? So encourage your customers not to store the lid invertedly. And if they have one of these sweaters, it's a great way to protect your rock crock, okay? So there's some terminology you can use there. Of course, you'll see all of the spoons, and you got the bamboo spoons and the nylon turners and all that kind of thing. If somebody has one or two of these, this would be a great time to complete their set so that their tools match, okay? And the tool turnabout itself. All right, so I'm gonna try to do this right here because what a great, phenomenal product this has been. We all love it. Now, this is not only good for tools. By the way, this right here, this holds the food chopper. So it's the house for the food chopper. 2585, you know, this food chopper like this, you turn it upside down and you put it in this hole. So that's the house for the food chopper. That's also a great place to put the salad choppers. It could be a great house for the salad chopper. Of course, tools, and I always like to encourage people to keep their Pampered Chef stuff, you know, close by and separated so that they can be pampered in the kitchen as they are pamperizing their kitchen, you know, because not everything's going to be replaced with a Pampered Chef product all at one time. This is also great for the craft table to put crayons and markers and glue sticks and all of that. So if you're a crafty person or you got a craft room, you got a little one that likes to do all that kind of stuff like I do, this makes a great caddy for that, for organization of those materials. Bathroom caddy. Shut the gate, paint the barn red. Love it for a bathroom caddy. Mary Kay, toothpaste, all your makeup, toothbrushes. The hair dryer can go in the top. Curling iron can go in the top. Y'all know I live in a house full of women. Whoop, whoop. I give a shout out to my wife and my daughter, right? So this is great. This is great for the dudes too, okay? Put your aftershave in there. All right, now I do want to show you also one feature to this that some people don't realize. This comes apart. The tool turnabout comes apart. The bottom comes off. You have ball bearings right here that they don't come out, okay? If the ball bearings come out, then it's gone to Jesus. It needs to be replaced. This is item number 2171, by the way. And so it's all dishwasher safe, okay? So that bottom comes off, and then this comes off too when you push through the holes here, Michael. There you go. See, Marie, I know what I'm doing. I just can't see real good right now. The lighting in my living room is not very well. All right, but see this right here? This all comes apart and goes in the dishwasher, okay? So that's another great benefit to this. Not only is it a great product to store tools in and the other things I told you about, but it also comes apart. And you'll be surprised how many people don't even realize that it comes apart. And then the ball bearings just sit down in the bottom, okay? Boom. And now you put it back together. So that's item number 2171. I think that's probably going to go pretty quick because it's an oldie but goodie. So make sure to mention that and sell that at your show. All right, so I've been talking a little bit about this covered roaster. I did that on the last video, I think. I am selling bukus of these. This is item number 2401, and it is $103 is the price of this, okay? So a couple of benefits and features that I want to give you of this product. I know some of you don't have it. It's okay. I want you to, if somebody does have one of these, get it out, take it to the show, okay? Make some Cinnabites, make some garlic knots in it. That's very easy, just like two-step recipe you can make. A couple of things about this. I always like to tell people, this came out before the rock crock, okay? So we have the deep covered baker that worked, which is the stoneware piece, and where does stoneware work? Stoneware works in the microwave and the oven, and then this covered roaster would work in the oven. It would work on the stove surface, okay? So it works on the stove surface. Awesome piece. Rectangular in shape, okay? Has a glass lid. Also has this bottom. Now some people said, is this heavy? This is not heavy. Let me use my numb arm. All right, this is not heavy, okay? So I love this. It's lightweight, and it's a twofer. It's 2 pans in one. Yay! I'm going to be roasting a ham in here, Patty. and boom, I'll make mac and cheese in this. So it's 2 pans in one, really, okay? And I like to tell people the deep covered baker married the covered roaster and begot the rock crock, because the rock crock cooks everywhere, right? So they took the 2 things that you could use to cook just about anywhere and then made one thing that now you can use to cook everywhere. So versatile products. People don't want another pan to put in the house they can use at Thanksgiving. You can use this every week. You can use this as a deep fat fryer. You can use this as a casserole dish. Make your deep dish lasagna in. You need something that's rectangular. Use it because of the shape. You know, sometimes it's a recipe we're looking to create a certain shape of a recipe. All right, so let's just talk about garlic knots or Cinnabites for just a minute. We take some butter, put in this pan, and we put it on the stove. And y'all, it don't matter if it sits this way on the stove or if it sits this way on the eye. Okay? Wanted to clarify that for somebody was going to ask that. Melt the butter. If you're doing garlic knots, just shake in some garlic and herb seasoning mix all over the butter pats. Let it melt. And then y'all know how to roll the pan, right? If you're going to do Cinnabites, then just sprinkle cinnamon sugar on top of the butter. Let it melt. Roll it in the pan. Then you'll take a package of canned biscuits. Pillsbury, flaky is what I typically use. Cut them into quarters and put them all in the bottom of the pan. Now, I love cinnamon rolls. And I love to put nuts, and I like to put golden raisins. So I'll melt the butter and the cinnamon sugar, and then I'll put the golden raisins, and I'll put the pecans. Now, if you don't want to do nuts, I don't do nuts at the show. I just make it real easy at the show. But, you know, so you can put whatever you want to in there, okay? Some of y'all might want to put some Parmesan cheese on top of your melted garlic butter, right, Patty? And then you put your biscuits. Then you just cook that in the oven on 350, 400, whatever you want to put the oven on. Only takes about 8 to 10 in a convection bake oven. Only takes about 12 to 14 in a standard oven. And then, this is the fun part, as far as being at the show and being able to show both ends of this. Then you take this lid and you put the lid on the roaster, and then you do this. You invert it. And then you have, boom, inside here, the bottom is now the top. You can drizzle your cream cheese frosting if it's Cinnabites. You can pull, it's like a little pull apart monkey bread, okay? That recipe will work for anybody that's got this pan. It doesn't matter where you live in the country, okay? And you will be selling some 2401s, and then Tracy Britt Coos will be like, we might need to bring that covered roaster back. Okay. All right. Just kidding, Tracy. But I'm just saying, can you get excited about a piece like that that maybe you've had and you know, it's still in the catalog. It's in the index. I don't know how many of them we have, but after this video gets circulated, we might not have any more next week. So go ahead and make sure you take that to your show tonight. Of course, we got cookware on the endangered list. So people that have these pieces, all-purpose pot, that's another great one. Love that piece. Also, you know, the barbecue basting bottle. The steamer. Oh, this is one of my favorites. Now, I'm going to be honest. I'm kind of disappointed about this one because this is a phenomenal spoon rest. Item number 1678. And this is a piece of stoneware. Okay? And so this is a glazed piece of stoneware that sets on this metal spoon rest that can set on your stove, and this spoon rest doesn't melt. And then, of course, this comes out to clean it. Of course, it can go and be clean, dishwasher, whatever. But I love setting the chef's tongs on here. You know, ladles, your tongs, your chef's tongs are really good for setting on this. So anyway, you know, no big thing. There's lots of spoon rests out there in the world. Not very many, though, that can set on the stove as you cook with them that don't, you know, melt. So make sure to just throw out an extra shout out for the spoon rest as you're at your show, because there's probably somebody there that would like to have one, okay? So we're not going to go over every single solitary product. Clock timer, oh my gosh, I do want to take a minute for that one, because that is a great product to have on your table looking back at you as you do the show. So if you are kind of like, I am at a loss for time, I lose track of time rather, that is a great way to set that for a specific amount of time for you to keep on track, because then, and I will even make comments at my show and I'll be like, oh my gosh, we've only got 20 minutes left. I feel like I'm on an episode of Chopped. So, it's doing the countdown. Now, some benefits and features to item number 1900 is that it does have a magnet, so it's easy to find if you put it on the refrigerator or a filing cabinet in an office. A lot of problems with cell phones, so I know that somebody is already going to say this. Well, I got a timer on my cell phone. Well, that's well and fine, but I know a lot of people who come home, put the cell phone down, then they can't find the phone anymore. They spend more time looking for the phone than they do actually using it. So if you set your timer and then set that phone down somewhere, you're going to lose track of time anyway, right? All right, somebody was supposed to give me a heart or something about that. But it counts up, it counts down. Once it goes off, it starts counting up, so people will know how long they overcooked a pie, a cake. It'll stand up on the table. So anyway, it's just a great little goodie. It's been in our line many, many moons. If you don't have one as a consultant, just as a piece of equipment to use at your show, then I'm going to tell you to get one. I train all my consultants to have that, looking back at them. So it's like sitting right there. It's kind of hard to look at, because your phone or whatever laying flat and you're got your hands messy and you're cooking. Okay? All right. So again, to answer that question, do I take discontinued products? Do I talk about discontinued products? Yes, you do. Yes, you want to put a sense of urgency to order these tonight. And then you also want to check emails daily from the home office, because as soon as something does sell out or it looks like it's going to be on stop sale, then they're going to send that email out. We've got great notification of that, but if we don't check our emails, then we won't know what's going on, and then we'll be transmitting the show, and it's a red X, and then you're going to have a problem. So I'm not trying to scare anybody, just want you to realize that you need to be checking your email and watching the stir and all that kind of stuff, especially during this time. Okay, so we've got a few minutes left. I think we've covered some good product knowledge on some of these things, leaving the line, and some words to say, because that's a lot of the questions that I'm getting, a lot of the posts, what do I need to say? So let's kind of prioritize and break this on down a little bit, that when we are looking at a show, we want to educate people. We want to be bringing products that are going to empower them, power tools that make a difference. We have an exceptional line. Our home office, they spend lots of resources on research, on development. So let me just say that we have the best of the best to offer, and I want you to be sold yourself on that. The Pamper Chef's not going to put anything out here that, isn't going to be a product worth having. Also, look at what am I taking to the show? What kind of products do I show at my show? What kind of products do I talk about? Because it's one thing to have them at the show. It's another thing to be presenting them. So are you presenting the products that you need to present? And do you know what you want to say? I want to discourage, and I don't use that word often, but I want to discourage you from just talking about that this product is dishwasher safe and has a 5-year guarantee. Because we have a phenomenal guarantee, and we can say something like that when I have a lot of new people in the audience that have never heard of Pamper Chef. I want to put a little extra emphasis on our awesome warranty that we have with our product, that most of our products are warranty 3-year, 5-year, or lifetime. We have nothing that's under 1-year guarantee in our product line. And they can look at the round circle in the catalog to note the years. That's the number of years that a product is warranted for. If you haven't figured it out, DWS beside a product means dishwasher safe. is what that stands for. I'm sure everybody knows that. I hope you do. But we want to put real life stories with the product. If it's almost your experience, if you will share what you do in your rock rocks, if you'll get your audience engaged in sharing what they're doing with their rock rock, and if we will get them trained to move past a rock rock just being a chicken cooker or just being a pork tenderloin cooker, and we can show them how they can cook all meats and all their vegetables in the microwave and never having to add the first drop of water, okay, to cut out steps to cooking. Why don't people cook now? Because they've run out of time. They're running out of time to get dinner done. They don't think they have enough time to put a quality meal on the table. So now they're running through the drive-thru. Now they're calling for takeout. Now they're hoping maybe their mother or their grandmother has something on the stove that they can eat. So whether you're in the college dorm room, which I don't know if you saw Facebook pics, but I had a lot of college gals at the show. What is today? So it was Monday night. And they were just so enthusiastic, and they just loved everything. And that host ended up with over $1,500 show, because there are people who want to be able to cook quick and still taste good. So whether you are doing a healthy theme, whether you're, whatever type of whatever you're promoting, make sure we're sharing that experience of that product with our guests, because that's where it's at. That's just where it's at. If we're real with our customers and not just trying to say, now this pan is great, you just got to have this pan, then we will develop that relationship, develop that connection, and people will want to have that in their home. Don't we all like if Patty if she says, oh, you just got to go see this movie, more than likely her enthusiasm has sold us enough, and we trust her, that we're going to go see the movie too. Well, that's the same thing with the Pampered Chef. When we're enthusiastic about the products and the power tools, then our customers will be even more enthusiastic, and they're going to share, and they're going to share, and they're going to buy. And they're going to not only just buy a product, but they're going to improve the meal preparation and mealtime experience in their home. Okay? So that's really important when we look at what are we going to do, what are we going to sell, what are we going to show. Okay, so I did want to give you one more benefit and feature, not really more so a benefit and feature, but about the cutlery. Use and care, that's what I was trying to think of, use and care, okay? So a lot of people, everybody's all about dishwasher, 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 okay? And I like my dishwasher. I don't put cookware in the dishwasher. First of all, our cookware isn't supposed to go in the dishwasher, so let me make that disclaimer, the current line. But it cleans up so easy, and I don't want to take that much space up in there, because, I can practically just about wipe out the cookware we have now, and I'm just going to tell you, woo! It really is easy to clean, the newer cookware that's coming. But going back to the cutlery should never go in the dishwasher, and it also should never drip dry, okay? When you wash cutlery, fine, and we have the best of the best out there. Even like the salad chopper and 1088, the older shears that have a spring, those things should not go in the dishwasher. They should not set in water. They should not drip dry. For those that may hand wash a lot of their dishes, you'll see people just putting knives and putting blades right over into the dish drainer and letting them air dry. And that's a huge mistake. If you have customers, and some of you will, you sell enough cutlery, you'll have somebody say, I got rust spots on my knife. Salad chopper spring is rusted. Well, that's because of a couple of different things. Sedimentation of different areas, whether you have city water, well water, water is treated with XYZ, those things rest and on stainless steel blades, even stainless steel bowls, and they cause rust spots, okay? Now, sometimes you can take care of rust spots and you can, wipe that away, and then just when you do wipe it away, get some olive oil or just run that across the blade, let that sit a minute, and then dry that up. And most of the time that takes care of the problem. But for people who are consistently and constantly dishwasher and letting air dry, the sediment and the rust starts corroding and it starts causing a problem with the knife. Therefore, they're going to be like, oh my gosh. And I know that the salad chopper says it's dishwasher safe, and it is dishwasher safe. Over time, though, that spring is going to rust if that water is setting in there on the dishwasher. Over time, even on blades, if the water just sets and sets and sets and you're air drying, then you're going to eventually have sedimentation, the breakdown of the finish, and you're going to have rust. So the reason why I'm bringing this up is not because, oh, my spring is rusted on my salad chopper, and so, yes, they'll replace it. But we could head off some of that, because when people want their product to use it, they want their product to use it. And if they're having to wait for it to come back because they had to send it back for a warranty, then they're still without the product, right? So I'm just giving you some tips to help people's product last longer and for them not to even have to deal with a rust issue. So if you have somebody saying that to you, then more than likely they are not wiping the cutlery down or the salad choppers down. Dishwashers too, some of them, the drying cycles don't work as well. So let's just look at the dishwasher for a minute. When do most people tend to run their dishwasher? All right, let's look at that for a minute. Most people tend to turn it on at night on the way to bed, and so the dishes are getting clean. When do they take the dishes out? After they've gone to work the next day, they're coming home to cook. Now it's time to unload the dishwasher. Oh my snap. So the dishes have sat in the dishwasher probably for 12 to 24 hours. Okay? If the dishes weren't all the way dry, or the drying cycle wasn't that great, or if there's too many dishes for them all to get dry, guess what's just happened? Water has sat on the dishes all that time. And now now we got spots. Now we got water spots, whatever, okay? So even if something is dishwasher safe and it's a cutlery product, I'm just recommend hand wash, dry immediately. Now you got some people that are not going to do that, and that's okay. But I'm just letting you know and empowering you as a consultant that that's one way that we can head that off, okay? You can head that off by drying the cutlery right away. Don't let that cutlery sit in there and dry all day and all night, drip dry. Wipe that thing off and put it away. You want that thing lasting you for years and years and years and years, okay? Not to mention the heat from dishwashers can cause a breakdown of cutlery over time, especially fine cutlery. Can take the edge off, not be as sharp, not function as well as it could. So why even do that? Why even do that? Why even take the chance of messing up your knife? Okay, so we just have a couple of minutes left. I've had a great time today, by the way. And a successful show always starts with an enthusiastic consultant. And I don't mean you have to be bouncing off the wall and, drinking energy drinks to have energy during your show, but just the presence of setting that atmosphere of, we're going to have a great time tonight. Thank you, Faith, for hosting tonight. I appreciate the opportunity to be here. Let's give Faith a great big round of applause for hosting our show tonight. And we talked about passing out the drawing slips and the index cards on the last video. That creates a wish list for your customers, and letting our customers talk, using name tags so we can call on Faith, we can call on Amy, we can call on Patty, we can call on Marie as we're doing our show tonight, and building that relationship. And that is a great show opening. And then, of course, our presentation. Our show should be our show, should be our show, should be our show. And I'm asked all the time, what are your themes? my themes are a show, a show, a show, a show. We're going to cook at this show. Bridal show, bride and groom come and help me do the cooking. Everybody else is looking on. Season's Best Cookbook is passed around at the beginning of the show for people to sign the Season's Best Cookbook, and that's their first gift from the Pamper Chef, memento of today. Thanking them for allowing me to be a part of their special day. I did 2 wedding shows this past Saturday. Love doing those. This is a great time of the year. Every month somebody's getting married, but you know, people really start planning out spring and late spring, summer weddings. This is the time now for the shows, for the wedding showers, grilling shows. That can be cooking on the grill pan. That can be cooking outside. That's a great way to do that in the summer months. Having a grilling show, couples theme, inviting couples to participate. Had one of those this past month. Remember our last video? Told you I had a grilling show in the house with the grill pan on January the 20th. That was very exciting, a very exciting show, and most of the people that came to that show were couples. Real food, real fast, just cooking recipes, showing people how to use these power tools, certifying them on how to use them, giving them more uses for their product. Okay, so we have pretty much covered so far the opening of a show, how to have that strong opening, building that rapport, the information that I give them, picking out some power tools to actually do the recipe demo. Yes, I bring the groceries to the show. I think that's a great way to control cost. It's also a great way to make sure you have what you need at a recipe. When I first started this business, oh my gosh, I'd need fresh strawberries, half frozen. I need canned biscuits, half crescent rolls. So, you know, it takes a little stress off that host too, not to have to worry about a recipe ingredient list that's a mile long. You do what works best for you. You do what works best for you, as far as that is concerned. But the more you take off your host, the less stress that they have, the more they're going to want to book, the more shows they're going to want to do. Okay? So we have really talked about getting that first part down, even talking about, you know, from washing the dishes to asking them who's coming tonight to be great at doing what I do. So the next segments that we're going to start working on will be some more product knowledge, okay, because I know you love that. So I'm going to try to do a little bit of that when we get together. And then we're going to talk about how to promote bookings. Now, I've already talked a little bit about the host program, knowing the host program. Somebody just said, I think that's Marie. All right, about the groceries. Who pays for the groceries? Okay, first of all, we want to be making some simple recipes that don't have a ton of ingredients so that we have a grocery bill that's $50, okay? And my host, so most of my hosts will do something else, so I don't even want to go there, because that's, if they want to have a pre-show snack available, some kind of dip they've done, a veggie tray, whatever, I'm all for it. Go ahead. It does not affect what I'm cooking, because I think some of the time we're trying to match. Well, I don't want her to have XYZ if she's got Greek over here and I'm doing Italian food. It's the process of how you cook the food. It's not what you're cooking, okay? I cannot stress that enough. I cannot stress that enough, because we overthink that process and cause too much stress, especially for newer consultants. Buying the groceries, all you have to do is pick the groceries up. They reimburse you for the groceries. They will be happy to do that. If you don't believe me, go ask your next host, or and anybody, however you're running your business currently, because I was trained, you know, you give the list, they go pick up the groceries. I mean, that was our standard. That was our method. Now, I'm going to keep the grocery bill between $20 and $25. They are going, and that's going to include some kind of main dish and a side or an entree or whatever, and a dessert, whatever. It's usually at least 2 things that I'm doing. Very simple. It's not a 3-hour cooking show. as far as cooking for 3 hours. But yes, they will reimburse you. And you go and you ask your host, Marie, what would you think about me picking up the groceries for you, taking that step off, and you just paying for the groceries, and it's only going to be no more than $25. Oh, snap. Or whatever, you got to kind of, you know what you're fixing and what your grocery store prices are in your area or whatever. So whatever that looks like in the numbers, I guarantee you, they're going to be like, thank you, Marie. Oh, my gosh. Because they don't have time to do it. You think about how busy people are. They're running around the day of the show trying to get the stuff. Unless they are really, they don't have anything to do and they're really big on pre-planning. Now, I'm all about some pre-planning. I didn't used to be. But I'm going to tell you, the majority of the people in society today are so on a data overload, overcommitted overload, that they're last minute on stuff like this right here. They got this show coming up, okay? They will love for you to do that. Now, some of y'all are going like, well, when am I going to have time to do it? Well, you have to look at what type of show schedule you want to have. Because when you do a lot of shows, this is what Michael Reeves is going to do. Michael Reeves is going to buy chicken at half price and put it in the freezer. Okay? Well, how do I give my host a receipt for that? We have what's called a sales receipt. You write down groceries for Marie's show, $25. That gives the host a receipt. That gives you something to collect the $25 for, and you mark paid. Boom. Why are we overthinking that? Why are we overthinking? I don't have an individual. Well, are you charging her for your rubs? Are you charging her for that? I'm using that anyway. Okay? Uh-oh, there goes our timer. But I'm just saying, do y'all understand what I'm saying? I hope I'm making some sense there. Don't overthink that process too much, or you'll think yourself right out of it, and you'll keep doing the same old. And you could actually be taking some stress off. You are. I'm not going to say you could. You're taking stress off the host. You're taking stress off of yourself, because some of you would be paralyzed if you got to the show and half the ingredients were missing. Okay? You'd be like, I guess I got to pack up and go home. Or you'd be trying to find somebody to go to the store right then when you get there and review that, oh my gosh, half the stuff's missing. Okay? So please take a look at that process that you're currently doing, and go ahead, do a survey. We love a survey in Pemberton. We love to do a poll. Take a poll of your customers. Go ahead and ask every host you just had in January. If I would have brought the groceries, would that have made it easier? Get some feedback. I'm telling you, that is going to help you. And you know who it's really going to help? It's going to really help the new consultants. The new people coming in, this business going, whoa, wait a minute. It's going to help them to not have that stress of not having the recipe ingredients and having a happier host. Okay? You'll increase bookings by doing that. You will increase the bookings that you currently have. Because let me also give you this scenario. Okay? And this is, I've learned a whole lot of stuff the hard way. If you don't believe me, ask Debbie Reeves and ask Patty Mascherino. I've learned it the hard way. Because Michael Reeves used to be so hard-headed you couldn't tell him nothing. And my wife will probably say amen in a minute if she's watching. But this is the scenario. You're sitting at the show. You've had a good time. Oh my gosh. Everybody's having a good time, right? Well, Susie is thinking about booking a show. So she says, Diane, oh my gosh, what did you have to do to get ready for this show? Woo, I had to clean my house. I had to do this. I went to the grocery store. I had to do the shopping for the ingredients. Well, how much did you invest? How much did you spend for ingredients? Woo, I'm telling you what, I spent over $70 for groceries. Well, guess what Susie just decided? Susie just decided, I don't have $70 to spend on groceries. I will not be booking a show. Okay? And I know I'm using a high-end amount, But you think about some of the things that people are making at shows, okay? It can get pretty extravagant. Also, I remember as a host getting the recipe ingredient list before Debbie started getting the groceries. Now she gets the groceries and brings them. She doesn't mind if I say that. I didn't have hardly any of the things that were going to be needed. You know, I had a couple of things, but most of every time we did a Pampered Chef show, we would go out and have to search down, hunt down, and I live in a rural area, search down, hunt down, and buy these recipe ingredients, okay? So I want to encourage you to take control of that process, because people are talking at your show. And then you're sitting here at the checkout going, I know I did a good job. I know we had a great time. I know people were laughing and energetic. But some people have heard that they've had to do this or they've had to do that, or that they have had to spend money, and maybe money's tight for the group of people that you have at that show. And they're not going to have that extra money, okay, to spend an extravagant amount. But I also, in turn, will tell you that if you keep that in a minimum, my minimum, I don't spend more than $20 or $25 max. And it doesn't matter if it's 2 people at the show or if it's 25 people at the show, okay? We're not doubling up food. We're not doubling up recipes. Sometimes it's just the smell of the Pampered Chef. Sometimes it's the taste of the Pampered Chef. Sometimes we have 5 or 6 individuals there and they can eat and have a to-go box. Just saying, that's not our goal. Our goal is not trying to, to feed the masses. Our goal is to try to show them the process in which we cook this awesome recipe. And not only this awesome recipe, but they can cook everything they've ever cooked in our Pampered Chef Power Tools, okay? So we kind of chased that bunny rabbit a little bit, but I hope we brought some good perspectives. I hope that you kind of look at that in a different way, because that will increase bookings. It will make things easier on your host. It'll make things easier on you, okay? So let's make sure this month that we're not just busy, but that we are productive. We don't want to be busy just doing a bunch of stuff and then going at the end of February going, where did February go, okay? I'm looking forward to a fantastic, fabulous February. Looking forward to a marvelous motivational March. I'm looking for team growth. I'm looking for people to make changes in their business that make sense, that put systems in place that make sense, and also have things in place that are duplicatable, okay? So we're going to do our next video. It won't quite be as long as this one. I'm going to stop saying that because I'm going to do an all-night video. No, I'm just kidding. But Monday, February the 6th, we are going to do our next video training, and it will be a Monday morning motivational video, but we're going to do that at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, okay? And we're going to talk about getting into that meat of that show as far as bookings, setting that up at your show, the verbiage, how do I do that? We'll do some more product knowledge on current line, power tools, because we've talked about a few, but I mean, there's so many I want to give you that verbiage. That's one of the main things I get all the time. What do you say? What do you say? What do you say? What do you say? Knowledge is power. The more you know about your product, the more you use your product, the more you're able to convey that at your show. And yes, Monday is February the 5th. I'm getting February the 5th mixed up with February the 6th. Thank you, Jeannie. Okay, Jenny. February the 5th at 9 a.m. February the 6th, I got to go back to the doctor. So that's probably why the 6th was sticking to my brain. But anyway, I want you to go out and have a great, great rest of the week. Okay. I have 3 shows coming up, 1 tomorrow, 2 on Saturday. So I will be posting some clips from that. The recipes that we do, I am posting to this Facebook team page, okay? All right, so make sure you check that out. And if you see, you guys help me out. We have 1,200 people on the page now, over 1,200 on the page. So if you see a question or a comment, somebody says, where is this recipe? What did he say about that? And you know the answer, tell them to go to the page. Kind of help me out in doing that. Keep your testimonials coming. Thank you so much for all that you do and sharing back with some of these things that are working. So it will work when we work the business. Pampered Chef will work for us. So I want to encourage everybody with that. Go out and have a great rest of the day. And I will see you on Monday, the 5th, 9 a.m. Y'all have a great one. Bye-bye now.